Hello, and welcome back to this Trails into Reverie Let's Play with me, SLJ RPG. In the last episode, we did The Path Chosen, following old Toa and her choices.
Connecting to Reverie Garden database.
She was going to do with her existence. In today's episode, we head further into Justice. Adieu. With a Dudley and a Makis, seemingly.
3 days after the SSS successfully liberated Crossbell, I found myself being the first of my old classmates to see the city in all its newfound freedom. Excuse me, but would you two be Commander Sonia Bells and Vice Commissioner Pierre?
Here comes Mr.
That's
Regnitz.
correct. Inspector Regnitz, yes? We've been expecting you.
Quite an entourage.
It's a pleasure to meet you both.
We've come on behalf of the Government Accountability Inspectorate. I hope we can count on your cooperation during our visit. Ordinarily, the withdrawal of all Erebonian troops and weaponry from Crossbell should have happened immediately after the war. The IDF's occupation had caused a delay, but now it could finally be executed, and overseeing it was our mission. This critical assignment came directly from my father, a task closely linked with Crossbell's independence to boot.
Interesting.
Veteran inspectors in Rhineford were entrusted with watching over Tangram Fortress and the local military factory, while I was assigned to the city itself, and my primary focus would be the tower the defense force had occupied. The SSS only knows how to do it big, don't they? Can't believe they pulled this off. I heard Yuna's still out of school to help them in dealing with the aftermath.
Thank you. I think we have a better handle on what happened here now.
Dudley!
So after the SSS charged in,
They are very similar.
I remember him from the files related to the SSS. First Division, I think. What was his name again? Never mind. I need to focus on work. Off to the 36th floor, then.
Always on the ball. It was quite a gargantuan task for Makis to inspect the inside of the Orcus Tower, reviewing each shard of broken glass or overturned vase. But while working hand in hand with the local police, the CGF, he set out to ensure that no offence caused by the IDF would go unnoticed. His work was exhausting, mentally and physically. Days in, he was still on the clock long after burning the midnight oil. He left this time no time to go out for drinks with fellow colleagues. It was just him and his work. He could feel the fatigue starting to wear at him. Thankfully, there was a local cafe which had become a small haven for his weary soul.
Thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials.
Thank you. There's no better morning ritual than one that starts with a good cup of coffee. Now I can start work with my best foot forward.
Hey, check out the Imperial.
Oh yeah, a pal of mine in the tower was telling me about having to work with that guy.
Thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials.
much obliged.
Ah, from across the room.
Nothing like that first cup of the day.
Is this going to be a bromance tale? I think it is. He was determined to do his job well, for the SSS who fought by his side during the twilight, for all of his friends doing what they could back in the Empire, and for his father, who believed he could handle such an important task. Little did he know, however, that his hard-earned day off, several days later, would be spent around his beloved brew.
You're all out of dark roast?
I'm so sorry, sir. I know it's your go-to coffee.
By the way, this is a bad idea. Anyone that actually drinks coffee or has worked in coffee or roasted coffee, I've roasted coffee as well. Dark roast is shit. Drink light roast coffee. Low roast coffee is obviously better. That makes me sound like a snob or a hypocrite or whatever them. It's just objectively true. If it's dark roast, it just tastes like burnt, whereas if it's light roast, you get the complexities, which I think is what they would do for Max's character. So, there we go.
Ours is ground with beans imported straight from Orid. But I'm afraid something's happened that's made it impossible to get back in stock. The owner was saying something about crime being afoot.
Wait, what crime is being committed?
Sorry, sir. Listen to me go on.
Not at all. In fact, do go on.
Ooh, Dudley wants to know as well.
Detective? Well, what he said, our morning's just not the same without your coffee. If you don't mind, could you let us speak to the owner of this establishment?
That's in fact me, because you can serve and be the owner. Justice, adieu. Well, yeah, you see, all kinds of things seem to be happening a lot lately. We got a number of queries about missing parcels, deliveries going to the wrong address, and the like. My hunch is that the trade is resuming just plain has companies in chaos. I sure hope things will calm down soon. Indeed. Thank you for your cooperation. Dudley, I usually do with a Dudley accent like this, but I probably can't do it in this case. I had a hunch after hearing what the cafe owner had to say, but wow, this runs deeper than it rightly should. It also matches up with the several reports the police have received. Several communication and delivery mishaps and the confusion just after Crossbell's liberation were eventually traced to the imported goods and sundries disappearing in transit. Right, and there are too many cases for it to be a mere coincidence. If the staff testimonials are anything to go by, it's not just restaurants either. Any business could fall victim. And all in a way, so that they don't even notice there's a pattern. Quite an underhanded operation. There are multiple perps. Is someone acting alone? What could their MO be? We need to gather information. It occurs to me now that this is rather late, but I was sent from the Empire to work on work-related business at the Orcus Tower just last week. My name is... Your Inspector Marcus Regnitz, I know. Alex Dudley of the CPD's First Investigative Division. So you knew who I was the whole time. Reports related to the SSS, I'm guessing. First Division deals in foreign affairs as well, so naturally I'd know about you. Your father being Representative Regnitz and you being a member of Class 7 puts you on a radar more than any report. Right, I'm sure. Don't let me knowing that you freeze up. Don't let me knowing that freeze you up on me. For the first time in quite a while, I'm not on the clock. But I'm not about to sit back and have my coffee, be in danger. We'll have no shortage of ordeals to face in the days to come. And I won't let you be marred by the loss of one's life's simple pleasures. One of life's simple pleasures. Oh. So Inspector Regnitz, might I request your cooperation with my independent investigation? I realize this is out of our respective jurisdictions, but I hope you might say yes as a fellow lover of coffee. Of course, I'll be happy to assist. The two formed an unusual bond to open up an investigation for their beloved bitter beans. Oh, of course, Patry's here. First stop was inside the department store where Mackie's questioned his old friend Patry. Then speak to these guys with the Hayworths. Reputable trader Harold Hayworth was next on the list, and he suggested they visit each district to interview the city's merchants. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Use that route all the time myself. Lucky for me, I'm sure to move on some things around ahead of time, so we're not hurting stock-wise. I'm thinking whoever's behind it's either green as grass in the underworld, or they straight have no fear of death, or both. And what makes you think that? Don't mind answering, but it's gonna cost you. Think I can afford to give you a friendly discount, detective? Would have thought I would have a bigger problem with her line of work. Would have thought you'd have a bigger problem with her line of work, of course, smuggling. Yeah, that's about everything we can figure out. You're doing a lot more harm to locals than I would have realized. This is incredible help. Thank you so much. The junior SS is everything I'd hoped for and more. Good. With all the SSS that's harassed, we're always down to cover for him. Ask us for help whenever you need it. I certainly will. Sure, I'll be back at some point. It's quite good to think on his feet than I give him credit for. I wonder why I didn't see that side of you coming. Shannon pegged you as the type to have connections with Nina Valley or that back alley bar. The new detective worth his salt knows there are valuable clues to be derived from the underground. Suppose I'm not the only one who's had his expectations flipped then. Your farm made you seem resistant to your farm read like you'd be more resistant to going off the book. Thought you'd be more straight-laced. Don't take this the wrong way, but that applies more to you than to me. I've still got a ways to go. Crossbell's independence is at stake. Can't afford to let my inexperience as an inspector be what screws it up. I don't think... Now, where's the next bar? The next bar? Where's the next bar? Roll there, sir. Oh, sorry about that. Not at all. I should have stepped out the way. If this were this guy works in general affairs at Orcus. Those glasses... I remember you're the inspector from the Empire. Showed that RDF the door. Got all the paperwork in order. You should have a hard worker, you wish. I'm guessing it's easy for an Imperial to finish what an Imperial started. That isn't how I would put it. You know, I've been hearing lots of stories about Fort picking up here again. They keep that up. They might start calling this place the City of Sin, the way they did before the SSS cleaned up the place. That's you bastards' fault. You just come here and start tearing down everything we built. Hey, that's enough. I understand those lips are loose when drunk, but any more out of that mouth and it'll be interfering with official business. Huh? I've seen you around too. What are you doing, you moron? Stop heckling random people on the street. Sorry about him, he gets like this when he drinks too much. Detective Dudley, Inspector Regnitz. Idiots, I'm so sorry if my friend said anything rude. I just think he's been doing too much OT since Liberation. Come on, man, let's go. I know it's our day off, but you drank way too much. I tell you. Still going for more. I could stay for another minute. Your friend here mentioned something about fraud being on the rise. Perhaps doesn't know anything about that? We're in the middle of the investigation, so if anything you could share with us would be greatly appreciated. I think it might. There's been suspicious merchant who's been selling knockoff brand name goods. Retailers going around here have been getting inquiries from customers on them. We were thinking of giving a heads up to the police about it, so your timing's perfect. Would you like the names of the stores we were notified? That'd be great, thank you. Justice, adieu. After the new lead from the unexpected source, they went right to visiting the stores specified. They're more than happy to give obvious tells for the knockoffs. The similarities between each account were almost astounding. Then, with plenty of new information in their hand, they grew to find a place to sift through their findings while resting their feet. There was no better spot than to sit down than a certain bakery on West Street. We managed to collect a fair bit of information. Indeed, such as how the victims up to this point have dealt in imports, brands, and foodstuffs. Brands like Quincy Company and Straker Corporation are among them. Wherever these are sold, a merchant has appeared to offer the exact same products for a much lower price. These alternatives, however, are inferior knockoffs. By the time this is discovered, the merchant has disappeared. I think there's a connection here. Almost undoubtedly, it ties into our current case. So fraud and counterfeit goods. You're still worried about what that man had said earlier? You shouldn't be. Being Erebonian does not mean that you have to shoulder the responsibilities of your entire country. Thank you, I appreciate that. But to me, he represents the majority of Crossbell's people. Makes me feel like I can't do anything to help them make them feel better. As an Imperial citizen and as an inspector. I see. You really are so much like me in my younger years. How so? You're deeply serious with a strong sense of justice. That makes you want to live up to expectations placed upon you. But now suddenly all the pressure has become so immense that it's suffocating you. Is that it? I don't know. No, you might be right. With the Chancellor now gone, the Empire is racing towards a new era. In the midst of all of this, my dad is now the representative Chancellor of the entire country. The first step we need to take for this new era is to restore and stabilize our relationship with Crossbell. I believe he's expecting of me the kind of inspection results that will work to that end. Yet here I am with my hands full with just stuff immediately right in front of me. I can't help but hate how much of a good-for-nothing guy I am. I hope you don't mind me countering this, but I think you should be more confident in yourself, Marcus. You've chosen a thorn-filled path of being an inspector despite how difficult it was going to be. And against your young age, you've been entrusted with the most important aftermath of restorations after the war. These more than prove you're qualified. Means you absolutely can live up to the expectations your dad has of you. You are also a nepo baby. I get panicked when I don't produce results quickly enough. But it is a brew not truly at its most divine when the beans have been roasted longer. Incorrect. I'm sure you don't understand what I mean as a fellow coffee lover. Yeah, you're right. I've been trying to rush my progress, but it's only made things worse instead. Maybe I'll take a bit longer to produce results, but I'll take it slow and steady, But better to take it slow and steady than run myself into the ground. That's the way.
Alright there, misters. Hello. And to you, Inspector. Don't know if I've ever seen you two in the same place before.
If I recall, you're the former law office, aren't you? I asked if you'd be willing to cooperate with our investigation of mine. We're just taking a short break.
What is the investigation, if I might ask? Is it about the deal of counterfeit goods?
Been keeping up with the times, have you?
Yeah, Grace has been all over it. I got thinking about how the SSS once worked a similar case, so I was going through some old leads and,
What? Would you mind showing us those leads? If we can get our hands on some evidence, might be able to get the 1st Division to make an arrest.
I don't mind at all. You've done so much for me in the past, Detective. How could I say no? But keep it a secret from Grace, alright? If she finds out, she might end up forcing her way into the front seat on your investigation.
Ugh, I can picture it now. We'll keep that in mind. A few hours later. Well. It's going to be the Hayway building.
Well, I've really hit the jackpot this time, haven't I? Crossbell never fails to disappoint me, or save for a few sour moments. I couldn't be happier about our business arrangement myself. It's much easier to get things done this way. That is my line. I hope we continue this most profitable of relationships. If Crossbell gains its independence, then it may become much easier to do business than it was under Imperial rule. I'd welcome the chance. Return of a prime hunting ground for folks like us.
Oh, the joke's on you.
What's this? Who might you two be?
Well, if it isn't Mineth of the Con Man, the famous counterfeit dealer from Calvard. So you're a small fry that's used to causing so you're the small fry that's used to cause us so much trouble in Crossbell.
What? Who might do you know? So my past is coming back to haunt me. I should never allow that cursed special support section to catch me.
The files the CPD has on you from last time come in handy. Know everything you've been up to. Surrender peacefully.
So this is because the pesky SSS, is it? In that case, what perfect timing. Been looking for a chance to express my gratitude for all they did to me.
She's completely switch. She'll wake up the whole city at this rate. I've had run-ins with the SSS as well. If your friends are there, then this is an excellent opportunity to relieve some stress. Time to get to work, or use sheer force to bring your best to your knees. Get out of here, you lackeys. Teach these fired letterheads a lesson.
Well, no one's coming. Where the hell are they? Oh dear.
They're being chased by police hounds. How did the cops find out about the meeting spot? This is not why they're working with crooks that always get caught.
Is that directed at me?
I told you we're 2 steps ahead of you. The entire department will be here soon. I don't think you can get away.
Aren't we clever?
All we have to do is break past you and then run the racket over you again. If you won't step aside, then we'll force our way out. Get him. Have it your way. We're more than prepared to respond. Counting on you, Inspector Regnitz. Of course. Oh, I don't get to fight, apparently. Then there were 2.
The worthless idiots. Truly a tragic end. As if I'd give up so easily.
It is all over for you. I have 1 weapon left. Out like a light. Do you get it? This is the Iron Hammer of Justice.
Eat my dust, you bastards. I've always had a plan to escape, so long as there's a horizon to reach. What? Where would the engine start?
Oh, I tried to tell you. We already discovered your getaway plan. We got out ahead of you and cut the engine. You're welcome to try swimming away from here, though.
How could you?
Well, Miss Counterfeit Dealer, Mineth. You've escaped justice in the past due to your status as a foreigners, but that ends today. Crossbell and its lords are evolving. I put in a good word for you. I put in a good word to see to it that you're tried here. Best of luck. This is really how it ends.
Our deal is perfect. How could this happen?
Suspects apprehended, 0210 hours.
2 o'clock in the morning. So the counterfeit dealer and the swindler had caused the stir in Crossbell were finally caught. The supply routes were impeded, soon returned to normal as the investigation progressed. It was shortly after when Makis heard that the cafe had restocked his favourite coffee beans, inspiring him to drop by the next day before work.
Sorry, thanks for waiting. Here's one of our very own dark roast specials. Boy, I think my jaw about hit the floor when I heard the case had been solved. Thanks to you two, it barely put a dent in business. We owe you one. So, the owner said it's on the house today.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Friends.
It's dark roast or nothing in the morning.
Bullshit.
I love the way you can feel it coursing through your body from the first sip. Can't start my day without it. And speaking of, I have something I'd like to share with you a little later.
It's his penis.
Are you free for lunch? I know a place with food that goes spectacular with any brew.
Absolutely, I'm free.
But he's making friends, which is nice. International relations. Justice Adieu ending. 500 mirror. Oh, we got a coffee book as well. Which means we've got some things we could do. So let's go ahead and get our let's get that coffee book consumed. Thank you very much. Manly Munchies coffee. The Justice Blend. It's a good name, actually. Okay, Justice Blend. Who would ever do the Justice Blend? So, you would think the Mackies would be the best for this, right? So let's try that.
Initiate cooking mode. This has...
We'll do that Nemesis liquid. Right, you would think it would be Mackius. But it's
Let's
not.
give this a try.
But we're going to do one anyway.
There was an...
He just gives us a Nemesis liquid as well. The actual top one for this
I
is
think
Emma.
I can cook as well as anyone else. Won't you try it for me?
Night Skies Tiramisu.
You just
try
leave this
Randy.
to your boy.
I want one that's actually good.
What is...
What the fuck? Apparently no one can do Justice Blend. That's fine. Which is good because it did give us a new recipe there. Right. I will see you guys next time for...
Rendering browsing interface.
The Fallen Prince. Peace and love.